Hey everybody, it's Moonbo here, and welcome back to more Endless Scrap Mechanic. In today's episode of Scrap Mechanic Creations, we're going to be taking all of these parts and pieces that you see behind me here and assembling them using a tank factory and turning them into a functioning tank. Because guys, last week I made a car factory. You guys really enjoyed that. I asked you guys for suggestions, and one of the really popular ones was a tank factory. So we're going to be checking that out today. If you do have any future ideas for factories, then let me know down in the comments, guys. And of course, if you are enjoying these factory builds, then let me know by hitting that like button. Now, I did say a fully functioning tank because the car in the last video didn't actually work, so I listened to you guys. You wanted to see something that worked. So all of these parts and pieces, once assembled, will form this tank right here that you can actually drive. You can shoot it. All you have to do is some wiring. So in this video, though, we're going to be doing an awesome clip of the entire factory, the entire process, how it is all put together. And then once that is finished, guys, I'll see you guys really soon. And then what I'm going to do is, I know you guys were really wanting to see more than one assembly line. So what I'm going to do in this video after the montage is I'm going to attempt to take this factory here that you see behind me and duplicate it, so that way we can actually have two tanks being built at once. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but we're going to find out. So let's check this thing out, guys, and then we're going to try and do the double line, and then we're also going to check out the tank itself. So let's get to it. Alright, so now we're back in the assembly line. Like you saw in the awesome sequence, guys, there is only one of them. So here we go. I'm going to try and duplicate this. It's just going to be a time-lapse because I don't know how long this is actually going to take. So I'm going to start work on duplicating this line, and then hopefully we'll be able to see 2 tanks built at once, and I'll be able to show you guys everything in detail. So here we go, guys. Wish me luck. I'm going to try and double up. Alright, so I was successful in making 2 assembly lines for this tank factory. Now the only question that remains is it going to be too laggy to run 2 lines at once while assembling all the parts and stuff like that? I'm not too sure, but why don't we hop out of the seat, take a closer look at what I had to do, and then we're going to actually start running this line and building some tanks. So the reason why I'm so surprised that I was actually able to pull this off was, I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the time-lapse, there were some moments there where it was full speed time-lapse, but it was so laggy. I got 1 frame per second for so long, and I didn't think I was gonna make it. But in the end, I was able to weld it all together, and look at this, guys. Everything is now controllable from one side, and it'll get both of the lines running. So what I ended up doing, of course, was I just replaced all of the switches that connected to the secondary line and replaced them with these logic gates right here. So I basically just replaced all the connections to these and had the original switches over here connected to them. So when I press something over here, it's going to happen over on that side as well. And we're going to get to see 2 tanks built at once. Now, unfortunately, guys, just like in the car factory, I do have to weld things together because it will definitely get way too laggy. So what we're going to do, though, is we're going to remove the first tank. All right, no lag. That's pretty good so far. We're going to get rid of the second tank, and alright, so still not really too laggy. Now, I imagine, like, I got a little bit of lag when I assembled 1 tank, so I think we'll see some lag when we're assembling 2, but once I weld the parts together, we won't see that anymore, I would imagine. So, alright, here we go, guys. We're going to start building 2 tanks at once. This is it. I hope it works out pretty good here. So everything should be exactly mirrored on one side and the other. So why don't we just get back here. We're going to get ready to stop that right there. So both of the tanks are now in place. Now, I want to get a better view of both of these tanks being built at once. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just connect a seat to these switches right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a nice view right here of the entire thing happening at once. So, alright, so here we go, guys. We're going to see 2 tanks with the wheels being assembled first. So, we're going to drop them down. Look at this, guys. 2 tanks at once. Oh, man, this is awesome. Alright, so the tank wheels are being positioned. There they are. They are on both sides now. So, I'm getting a little bit of lag. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to decouple them. There we go. And I'm going to retract those robotic arms. Now, look at this, guys. We now have 2 tanks. And, wow, look. I am barely even lagging at the moment, but let's see. It's successful on this side, absolutely. And it looks like it went good on this side as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld these on, and then we're going to move on to the next stage. Alright, so we've got the tank tracks now assembled to the core piece. We're going to lower the guards, and we're going to send these tanks down the line. Look at this, guys. I am absolutely loving this. So we're going to be able to do this next stage all from this seat right here, and we're going to get to see both tanks built at once yet again. Now look at this, guys. They are slowly making their approach to the next station. Like I mentioned in the last video there with the tank factory, I have those little stoppers there so that we can actually stop these in the right spot. Okay, hold on here. For some reason, the right one's not activating. I gotta fix that. Alright, so I fixed the problem, and now it is time to install the front and back plating of the tank here. It's its front and back armor. Now, I gotta say, I love seeing both of these tanks built at once. Alright, so there we go. They are lowering down. They are now going to go into the front and the back. Look at this, guys. I know sometimes I get a bit of an issue with this. As you can see, the right one has mounted no problem, but the one on the left there is, it's kind of stuck. So I'm going to try and help that out a little bit. All right, so there we go. We have the front and the back plates on both tanks. Now what I'm going to do is, of course, decouple those ones just like that. And then we're going to retract the robotic arms and take a look at this, guys. We now have the next stage complete. So I'm going to weld these ones, and then it's time to move on to the next one. And actually, this is a good opportunity to show you guys just how easy it is when you're working in the actual factory to grab things and quickly just hop onto the belt here like this and then weld them on. And the reason why it's so easy, of course, is because the way I have these tracks designed, they just actually float off the ground perfectly so that you can weld everything, no problem, nothing gets in the way, and you can very quickly move on to the next step in the factory build. So I'm going to finish this up, though, and then we'll move on to the next one. Alright, so we are now moving on to the next stage in the tank factory build. So these tanks are going to move along this belt, and the next item is going to be the top plating, as well as the track guards. As you can see, they kind of slide right over the sides there. So there we go, guys. The tanks are now approaching the end of this station right here. It's going to bump onto that. We're just going to stop it just like so. Now, this is going to be awesome, guys. This is my favorite one, too, because it doesn't lag very much. And now we're just going to lower those plates and wheel guards right on the top there, guys. This is probably my favorite one. All right, so this is going to drop in just like that. Oh, wow, it's so satisfying to see both of them. There we go. So now all we have to do, though, is decouple that top plate and track guard just like so. And there we go, guys. Those robotic arms are going to stow away. And then we can lower those stoppers just like so. And then look at this, guys. The whole thing can start right back up again. Now, obviously, though, I'm going to weld those tops on, and then we're going to move on to the second last stage. Alright, so now that the tanks have their tracks, all of the armor plating, it is now time to add the radio communication pack. So here we go, guys. The tank is going to bump into that little stopper, and now we're going to lower down the radio antennas and all of the electronics. There we go, guys. They are going to settle right in just like so, and then we're going to decouple those ones, of course, and then bring those arms back in. Now, this one, I'm hoping maybe it's not going to be too laggy. It seems like it's alright. So we're going to lower those stoppers here. And let's see if we can't actually finish this build off without doing any more welding. So let's get rid of that seat. Alright, you know what? It is a little laggy. It's not too bad, but we'll see what happens here. We'll let that get to the stopper. Turn that off just like so. Oh, uh-oh, I forgot it was on this one here. Oh, no. So, now it is time to add the final addition to the tank in this tank factory. And of course, guys, that is the most essential part. It is the tank's turret. So here we go, guys. We're going to lower it down just like so, and it just rests ever so gently. All we have to do is hit the decoupler button, and there we go, guys. The arms can go back up just like that, and now we have 2 completed tanks ready to roll out for the battle. And of course, guys, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, these tanks are fully functional. All you have to do is some wiring. So these are the completed builds in the actual factory, but I'm going to take them outside and then show you guys how to wire them yourself, so that way you can have your own working tank as well. So of course, throughout the entire process of the build, you would be welding each individual part just like I was doing and getting the final product like this. But of course, you do end up with your tank top turret right there and the bottom piece. So what I have here though is a little turret mount right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our lift out. We're going to pick up the turret and just kind of tip it over a little bit. And we're going to grab that center point. I'm going to tip it over a little bit better so you guys can see. There is a grayed out block right here. That is the center point of our turret. So we're going to mount it right here on that bearing. So I'm going to get the connection tool out, and you guys are going to actually see what is going on here. So there's a little bit more involved compared to the car factory. So I'm really happy with the way this build did turn out. And the actual functionality, I think, is a huge bonus. But you do have to do some wiring. So because each individual part did house a little bit of components. So right here on the top plating, we have 2 motors that we need to connect just like that. And then we're going to connect the left one to the front 5 left wheels here on the tank and spin them all so they are rotating in the correct direction. And then we're going to take the other one on the other side right here and do the very same. So of course, you can only connect 5 bearings to a motor. And these back wheels right here are pretty useless, to be honest with you. You're going to be doing all your driving on the front ones anyway. So once that is all set up like so, you have to come back here to these buttons right here. So this one right here is 1, which connects to that one, and 2 connects to this one right here. So these ones are going to be used to actually rotate your turret. So if we connect 1 to that one right there and that one there, we can probably rotate this one. There we go. So now we're going to get left and right turning on our turret mount. And we have another electric motor right here, and this one needs to get connected to the driver's seat so that you can use W and S to control the angle that you're going to be firing your cannon from. And then of course we already have the mounted cannon right here that is totally functional already. It's already hooked up to the seat. And we also have a little cool hatch right here that you can open up, and this is where you hop into the seat just like this. I actually do realize I did make a little mistake in the wiring. It's actually 1 and 2 gets connected to your drive motors, and 3 and 4 are your controls for rotating your actual turret. So alright, so let's open this hatch back up here. We're gonna hop inside. So now if I press 1 and 2 at the same time, look at this, guys. You can see we can actually drive forward, and it just kind of uses very simple tank steering, where if you press one or the other, then you're just going to do a complete dime turn just like this. Now, it does not have reverse because I didn't want to put double bearings, simply because of the lag, because I was focusing way more on the actual factory component. But look at this, guys. You can drive around. Check this out. We can also turn the turret around just like so. And of course, guys, this thing does launch projectiles. Look at that. You can actually shoot projectiles with this thing. So this is more than just a tank factory. We also have a working tank that can actually shoot things. I mean, it's absolutely amazing, guys. So that is going to be the video for today, guys. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this tank factory and are still enjoying the factory builds. Like I said before, guys, if you do want to see more, then make sure you hit that like button. Give me some suggestions down in the comments. I look forward to seeing what you got and trying on some more factories. Now, guys, if you do want to see some more Endless Scrap Mechanic, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. Maybe even turn on some notifications so you can get the latest and the craziest coming from me in Scrap Mechanic. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And I will be seeing you in the next one, so bye for now.